I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Raka Quadash, double honors unto our apostle elders which rule great millstone, while in Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, may you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abababal. So this is Psalm 58 and verse 1 to the chief musician Alta Sheth Maktam of David. All right, so this is a song about the punishment of the wicked, of King David. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb, which the wicked are the so-called Caucasians, the red devil the Bible speaks of. They're not white, they are red. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, which this was a lie that they taught you in these false religions under the so-called white race, Esau, Edom, all right? Christianity is a lie. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which they give you false doctrines. You see? This is why they are wicked. They lie from birth. It says, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O power, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh. When you go into this word power, it's Elohim. See? So it's plural, meaning more than one. And it's done with gods, which really is the Israelites, the divine ones. All right? Which the Lord said that ye are as gods. Psalm 82, he was talking to the Israelites. It says, Psalm 82 and 1, a psalm of Asaph. Elohim standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. And that's what you see now, that we're waking up to the truth, and we're pointing out the wicked and turning our back on him. And that's what he can't stand. That's why he's going crazy, right? Remember, he just had NATO, Trump, which represents the Illuminati that rule the world, the wicked, the Edomites, the so-called Caucasians that are in power. All right. Through Trump, they had the NATO head chief call Trump daddy. All right. So that's showing you that America is Lucifer who falls like lightning. It's a light to the world of wickedness. All right. It says defend the poor. So Selah means meditate on this. This is what we're to be focused on. Doing this work, waking up our people through the truth, which we don't wake them up. The truth wakes them up. But the same light that we wake our people up with, we're actually revealing the devil and his crimson. All right. It says, and accept. It says, how long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah, think about that. Defend the poor and fatherless, which are the Israelites. Do justice to the afflicted and needy, talking about them that are in this truth. Deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. And that's what we're supposed to do with these videos. Edify, build you up so that you could overcome the the temptation that this devil is about to bring upon us. He's going to make an implantable microchip mandatory for buying and selling. All right. And it's going to happen worldwide. But if you take it being in America, you will be destroyed with the nuclear missiles, guaranteed. All right. It says, they know not, neither will they understand, which is the wicked shall not understand. That's Daniel 12. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. And this is a curse that the whole earth had to suffer. And what it is Esau, the so-called white race, they're the lowest kind of human being. They're the scum of the earth. So they're in power now. So the whole earth is all fucked up, right? It looks sick. It's like a desert, right? The Israelites are dying because of our sin, right? But Esau, he's known as the man of sin because he's making us sin. That's what that whole implantable microchip is. It's a great sin, all right, for the Israelites to take that implantable microchip. So this kingdom of the Edomites, the wicked, is going to go into perdition, meaning be destroyed. Verse 6, I have said, ye are gods, you Israelites, Yasharallah, the princes of the power, the princes of God, which we have that right through Yahweh's son, Yahweh Shai. And all of you are the sons of the Most High. Talking about the Israelites. Only the Israelites have this privilege. But ye shall die like men, which we fell, right? And now we are mortal and we die. Once we were immortal, but because we sin, now we die. And fall like one of the princes. Our kingdom fell just like a normal mortal, right? But we were immortal. So we lost our immortality and we lost our kingdom. Now the wicked are in that land as counterfeits, the small hat, big nosed bastards, which were set up by the whore and the beast. All right. It says, arise, O power, which is the Elohim, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Talking about us on earth, the hopeful elect. Right? The Lord is saying, rise up and judge, which is what? Make room for vengeance. Make room for vengeance. Romans 12, verse... It says, I'll start at 17. It says, recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. So we're not here to start a revolution or pick up weapons and go against the government. We're not here for that. We're here to just provide things honest in the sight of all men. That's all we're doing. We're showing the truth. All right? That you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. It says in verse 18, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. So once again, we're not to be a violent man on earth. It says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, which we tell you the scriptures. All right, that's why I said yesterday, when you're going through some kind of contrite spirit, put that in a video. Not so much your emotions, but the edification of overcoming. All right, or what it is, because they're stumbling blocks. So you got to reveal these stumbling blocks so that other brothers could overcome them. All right. It says, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Which Yahweh Shai, he doesn't come to destroy the law or the prophets, but to fulfill the prophecy. Matthew 5 and verse 17, red letter, Yahweh Shai speaking, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So first he sends the prophets, then Yahweh Shai fulfills the prophecies, all right, of the word of Yahweh. So going back to that Psalm 58. It says, in verse 7, it says, let them mount. Well, I'll start at 6. It says, break their teeth, and their teeth represent their military. O Elohim, in their mouth break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh, which they're gonna come in like a flood on us because of this truth, and the Lord's gonna raise the standard. This is why they developed robots. All right, it's gonna be the elect against the robots of Esau, because you got these super soldiers that got microchips, right, in their brain that are supposed to give them like strength in a moment, all this shit. So the Lord's going to give us the strength to run through them. All right. It says, I'll start up here just a little bit. It says, I'll start at 15. Isaiah 59 and 15. Yea, truth faileth. Why? Because the wicked are ruling. They teach lies. And he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey, which they're pretty much going to persecute the righteous. And Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. See, so this is why they're going to have to kill a few of us, because the testimony is sealed by blood. All right, so it's going to be evident that they are the Edomite, because they're going to kill some of the saints in persecution, trying to shut us up, right? So it's evident that they are the Edomite. So once they fulfill this prophecy that they're going to persecute the Israelites that are prophesying, because they come down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time, it's going to set them up for that judgment, all right, because the Lord is displeased, all right, because there is no judgment on earth, because the wicked is ruling. It says, and he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation, Yahushai, unto him, and his righteousness is sustained it says, it sustained him, which our righteousness is of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and an helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak, which he's doing this through his elect men. All right, we're putting on this knowledge as armor, as if we're in a spiritual war. And our cloak is zeal. We're excited. I know I am. I'm very excited. And every day I get more excited in serving the Lord. Seeing his commands to come forth on the earth gives me great pleasure. Verse 18, according to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, which were in the west in America, and his glory from the rising of the sun from the east. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. Now let's go into that word standard so we get an understanding. But we're going to go to the lexicon. All right, so that word is used in the scriptures as to mean flee, escape. All right, to be perfect in our time through Yahweh Shem Yahushai, flee absolute, to be solid in this truth, flee on foot. It says, escape, hence take flight, depart, disappear. And it says only figurative, but this is also literal. It's figurative first because we're talking about it, but it's going to become literal someday. All right, so we'll be able to take flight, disappear. His freshness, which he's making us new. We're born again. See, it says fly to the attack on horseback with power, perfect. The breath of driveth that driveth it on, which the power and the spirit drives us, in order to take flight before the bow, which is salvation with Yahushai, put to flight, which they're the enemy when they come in like a flood, they're going to be put to flight. Look, drives hastily to a safe place. Why do you think the rich men and the chief captains are going to be in their bunkers in the holes of the mountains, hoping that the rocks fall in on them, caused to disappear? Esau is going to be made extinct. All right? So we're going to have power, which we already got power. We're prophesying. But as it says, outline of biblical usage: to flee, escape, to take flight, depart, disappear, to fly to the attack, in defense of the Israelites that believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. To drive at, to take flight, see, to cause to disappear, see, and that's what we're going to do. All right, we're the ones that are actually going to cause the Edomites to run into their bunkers. They're already building them. When Yahushua comes, they're going to be in those bunkers, all right, trying to survive the judgment. It tells you that in Revelation 6. See right here. I always say it, Google billionaire bunkers, and I put in the news, look, 1 week ago from Forbes, Australia. Jeff Bezos, which he's well known for Amazon, is getting a new neighbor at Miami's billionaire bunker. An empty 1.8-acre lot on Indian Creek Island just sold for a record-setting amount of more than $100 million, providing a fat return for the seller, a German developer. You see? So they're building these bunkers. An empty lot on Indian Creek Island, Miami-Dade County's billionaire bunker, sold on Monday for $105 million, a record price for a property on the island, right? Which, what is it? It's a bunker. Okay? For what? To try to survive the judgment of the Lord, right? The Lord's bringing the judgment by sending his son. This is from MSN.com. Inside the ultra luxury doomsday bunkers built for billionaires. You understand? These people make their money through knowing what's to come, through their predictions. And they got bunkers for what? Right? The poor people, Jake, for the most part, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian, they're just trying to get a piece of cheese, a crumb that fell from the table of the Edomite. So they're not knowing what's going on. But the Edomites, they show what's happening, right? They're going into their bunkers. Why? Because there's a judgment coming to the earth. All right, and it's Yahushai. He's going to judge the world. It says interesting engineering. It says billionaires are buying islands and building secret bunkers, but why? Which you can tell you why, because Yahushai, he's coming back. We've been saying it, and so it's causing these people to run into these bunkers, just as it was prophesied. All right. So once again, it's figurative, but it becomes literal. Let me go ahead and go to Revelation 6. And verse, so I'll start at 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll, and it was rolled together, the mushroom cloud of nuclear missiles, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So the ones that are around America and in America that belong to America, they're going to be destroyed in those bunkers. All right. But you got elite of these races, these different nations in bunkers all over the world. So they're going to go into slavery when everything calms down. It says, verse 15, and the kings of the earth, it's plural for all these heathen kings that are in the know, they're building bunkers, and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every freeman hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. I want to see what that says in the NLT. It says, and they cried to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of the one who sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. See, they want to die before they go into slavery, but they're not going to die. That's why they're building bunkers. You know, the ones outside of America. It says, for the great day of his wrath is come. He sent his son back. Yahweh has commanded his son, Yahushua, to come back and judge the world. And who shall be able to stand? And that's why we're going to be raised up and put in the chariot to be protected. All right. Isaiah 59 and verse 20, it says, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith Yahweh. So this is why we're lifting up our voices, telling our people, as it says in Isaiah 58 and 1, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Why? So they could repent from it and be saved. Verse 20 of Isaiah 59, and the Redeemer, Yahushua, shall come to Zion at the commandment of Yahweh, and unto them that turn from transgression, them that take heed to the prophets, they listen and obey. In Jacob, saith Yahweh, as for me, this is my covenant with them, saith Yahweh, my spirit that is upon thee, which is the truth, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, the truth, right? Which his spirit, the Holy Spirit, which testifies of the truth, Yahushua, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed. And we're supposed to be teaching our seed, even, it says, when you teach in this truth, see the brothers, the younger brothers as children, like you're caring for your own children, teaching them in what way is right. All right. And this is why he gave us elders, starting with the apostles, because elders are like fathers to guide us in which way we should go. All right. So this is literally and figuratively being used. All right. We're supposed to teach our people. All right. And it starts with yourself in your house, but then eventually when you grow, you're to grow in this grace. And it says you're to learn this truth, not to put it in a napkin and hide it in the world, but to go out and to confess it on the streets. All right. It says, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith Yahweh, from henceforth and forever. So we're the ones that are going to receive salvation, and we're going to start the earth over. All right. Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushua has prophesied it. The wicked, they're going to perish like their own dung. They're going to be as they never have ever been. No one's even going to remember them. All right, there's going to come a time in reality where they're not even going to remember what an Edomite was. All right, so fuck Esau. Hey, shalom to the elect wa abababo.